Right, welcome back to the video. So today I'm going to be ranking the Premier League home fans for the 2020-21 season. Right, so the same again as the away fans video I uploaded the other day. I'm going to be ranking them from elite to awful, which includes elite, very good, average, poor and awful. So the first club up is Crystal Palace. In my opinion, Crystal Palace's home fans are really good, but in my opinion that's only because like the ultras group section thing we had to go in the Lonsdale stand or something, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, without them it wouldn't be that good, but because of them I think the 100% elite home atmosphere, so yeah, Crystal Palace, first club to go in elite. Right, so next up now is Burnley. This season when I went away to Burnley at Turf Moor, I thought the stand, which is in the away stand, like the other side of the away stand, was actually quite loud. I don't know, I think it's called the cricket stand or something like that. But the rest of the ground was dreadful, didn't say a word. I thought that stand was actually quite decent. Like, it wasn't as good as some, but it wasn't dreadful. So yeah, I think it was decent to be honest. Yeah, I'd put it average to be honest. Burnley's home support's a lot better than the away support in my opinion. Right, now moving on to Tottenham. Tottenham, so they just recently, I think like last season or the season before, I think it was last season. Well, last season just finished actually, so 2 seasons ago technically. They moved into their new stadium, and in their old stadium, White Hart Lane, I believe their atmosphere was a lot better. I haven't seen many videos or anything of talking about their new stadium, but when I went away there this season, they were okay for like the first 5 minutes, but then it went quite quiet. Then Chelsea scored, and then they were quiet for the whole game after that. So from that experience in that game, I probably have to put them in poor. Maybe it's better in other games, but in that game it was certainly poor in my opinion. So yeah, Tottenham, home atmosphere in poor. Also, sorry if you can't really see Tottenham badge, because it's like dark blue and black, so it's hard to see if you know what I mean. Right now, so next moving on to Brighton. Against like teams like Crystal Palace, is they like derby games, and they like games against like the big teams like the big six and stuff. I think the atmosphere would be better than it would be for a game against like Norwich last season or something like that. But it was okay, the atmosphere at the Amex this season when I went away. The stand behind the goal, I don't know what it's called, that was where the only atmosphere came from. But it wasn't really anything special, it was just okay. Yeah, I just put them in poor to be honest. It was just alright, like. Okay, so now moving on to Fulham. I went to Fulham away in the, I think it was the 18-19 season I went down. Yeah, when last time in the Premier League anyway. I went away to Fulham, and the home atmosphere was not very good in my opinion, especially because it was against Chelsea as well. It's just not very good at all in my opinion. Yeah, there's not really much to say, just have to put it awful to be honest. Not really much I can say about it, just not very good in my opinion. Right, so next up is Chelsea. Like I said in the last video I made about away fans, Chelsea's home and away supporters definitely like each other. Chelsea's home support is pretty dreadful. It's not as bad as some teams in my opinion, but it is pretty dreadful, especially against like the smaller teams. Yeah, just have to put in poor as well. We don't really sing much at all. The Shred and Matthew on is the only places really try to create atmosphere, but it's just nothing special in my opinion. It's decent on like against like the big teams and stuff, but overall it's pretty poor. So yeah, put in poor. Right, now moving on to the next club, Leicester. Leicester's home support is just okay really again. I don't really know what to say about it really. There's a section I know this like next to the away section, like on the side of the pitch. I don't know what it's called. They have a drum there and stuff I know, and that's the main place I think that tries to create an atmosphere with King Power. In my opinion, it's just okay. Like it's not very good at all really. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put in poor again. It's not awful as bad as some teams, but it's certainly not very good in my opinion. So yeah, Leicester in poor. So next is West Brom, and again, like the away fans video I said, I don't really know much about their fan base. So again, to be fair, I put them in average in the away fans video. So for home fans, we have to put them in average. I uploaded the video earlier today when I'm actually recording the video now, and a few people have said like what they think about West Brom fans. So again, if you could let me know what you think about West Brom's home fans, it'd be helpful. So yeah, not really say much about them, just put them in the middle, average. Okay, so now moving on to the next club, Arsenal. I've been to the Emirates I think 3 times now, and the 2 times I went in before this season, we drew one of the games, I think 2-2 or something, and the other game we lost. And there wasn't really atmosphere at all in them games, really like very quiet, a library to be honest. But this season I think like the atmosphere has improved a bit. It was actually not the worst this season. It was very good, but like it was better than it was other times. Back in the day I probably would have put it in awful, but I probably would have put it in poor now, same as Chelsea and some other teams. It's not the best, but I think it's improving. Okay, so next up is Leeds. Like I said in the last video, Leeds fans just incredible. Their home fans some of the best in England, and their away fans in my opinion. So yeah, there's nowhere else to really put them, to be honest, except for in Elite. They always sing home and away. The fans are good, really, in the South Stand I think it is, at Ellen Road. They're really loud in there. And yeah, they provide a good atmosphere at home games. It's like an away atmosphere, to be honest, in the South Stand I think. Not many clubs can make an atmosphere like that in a home game, but Leeds seem to be able to do it, and it works really good. So yeah, Leeds in Elite anyway. Right, okay, so next up now is Wolves. Like I said in the last video, if you haven't watched that, by the way, go watch that video first, because I said some things in that video that'll make a bit more sense, if you know what I mean. And yeah, Wolves' home fans are really decent, like I think they're really good, to be honest. But when Chelsea played them this season, we won 5-2. They're really quiet, but in other games they're probably quite loud. Like I've seen some videos of them, so I can't really judge off that one game. But off other videos and stuff I've seen, and I know that overall they're quite decent. But very good. Yeah, very good fan base in my opinion at home. I just didn't really show it in that one game. That was actually the first time I went to Monaco last season, and yeah, didn't really show good atmosphere there. But overall, very good in my opinion. Right, next up is Sheffield United, who came up from the Championship season before last. So last season was their first season in the Premier League, and didn't actually get to go to their ground to watch the away game because the coronavirus thing. No fans were allowed in when our game was actually played, and we lost the game in the end anyway, but still would like to be able to go. And yeah, so I've never seen them in person or anything. I haven't actually seen many videos on their home fans either. I've seen a few people like on their away fans more, and I've seen their away fans in person. Their away fans very good in my opinion, but their home fans I don't know much about. I don't know if I should put them in very good, because like I think they're probably very good, or just put them in average like West Brom, to be fair. I think I'm going to put them in average, to be honest, because I think they're probably better than average, but I don't know much about them, so I'm going to be fair and say just average, because I can't really put West Brom in average, but then put Sheffield United in very good. So because I don't know much about Sheffield United in average. Okay, so next up is Everton. I've been to Goodison twice, I think now. We lost twice, we won. I think the first time I went it was 2-0, and the last season was 3-1, I think. 3-1 or 2-1, something like that, I think. And yeah, they didn't really sing at all for the whole game, both of them times at home. But I don't know, some people think their atmosphere is decent. I don't know, like, from what I've seen in person the 2 times I've been there, atmosphere was absolutely dreadful. Didn't hear a word twice. Didn't hear a word both times I went there. But I don't know, so I think personally from what I've seen, awful, but maybe a bit better for other teams, against other teams and stuff, and any other games. But yeah, from what I've seen, awful, sorry. Okay, so next up I've got Liverpool. I've been to Anfield twice. We drew the first time I went there, and we lost the second time I went there. I was going to go this season as well, but we couldn't go again because of the coronavirus thing. But yeah, the twice I've been there, they sing You Never Walk Alone, like loud, realistically. But then, until they scored, they didn't really sing at all, in my opinion, against Chelsea. And against the other teams. But against like Barcelona in that game, when they came back, I think like 1-3 something like that. Yeah, the fans was like good, apparently, that's what people say. But from what I've seen, they weren't good at all until they scored. When they scored, they were quite loud, but until they scored, they were pretty dreadful. So, from what, if I'm based off what I've seen, poor, but yeah, so if you see what other people see, maybe a bit higher, but what I've seen, poor in my opinion. So yeah, Liverpool in poor. Okay, so next up is Manchester United. I've been to Old Trafford 3 times. Lost in the first time I went, 2-1. Drew, I think 1-1 the second time. Then lost 4-0 the third time. To be honest with you, the time they actually won 4-0, I thought they were actually the quietest they've been. The other 2 times they weren't loud at all, but they were a bit louder than they were 4-0. But yeah, Chelsea fans were out singing them basically the whole game, even when we were 4-0 down this season. And yeah, the home was pretty dreadful in my opinion, nothing compared to their away support. I know it can be hard to create an atmosphere and stuff when you have such a big stadium and loads of tourists obviously go in. But yeah, I don't think it's really good at all, to be honest. I just have to put it awful. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, but yeah, I just think it's awful in my opinion, from what I've seen in person. Okay, so now moving on to Aston Villa. I've never actually been to Villa Park, but I've seen a few Aston Villa YouTubers, and if you just watch any like Aston Villa YouTubers videos, you can see how good the home fans are without going to the Villa Park in person. I was going to go to Villa Park this season until the coronavirus thing again, like I said already about other games. But yeah, in my opinion, they're 100% elite just from like the videos I've seen and stuff, even against like the lower teams like in the Championship last season. Yeah, so to be honest, elite home fans and elite away fans, like I said in the other video, very good, always singing the whole game realistically. But yeah, not really much to say about them otherwise. Elite, yeah. Right, so next up is Southampton. Been to Southampton twice I think this season. Then I think it was like, no, I missed out 1 season, so 2 seasons ago then I missed out, didn't go to that game. Then went to the one this season. But this season we won by a good score. I can't remember the scores, I have no idea. I know Southampton scored as well, but we won. But this section right next to the away section, like kind of behind the goal but not behind the goal on the left hand side, and that's where like most of the atmosphere comes from in my opinion. They're okay, like their fans there, but everywhere else is pretty dreadful. And there's a little bit, there is a little bit of atmosphere the other side of the away section, but it's nothing really special in my opinion, but it's just okay. I'm going to have to put in poor again. I know I have quite a lot of teams in poor, but a lot of them are poor in my opinion, so yeah, Southampton in poor. Okay, so next up is Manchester City. So I've been to the Etihad twice, and both times Man City won. And both times the home fans were actually really good in my opinion. Both sides of the away section in the lower tier. But you can't really judge the fans just because against Chelsea realistically. But against Chelsea they were really good. But see, I can say the same about other teams like Chelsea realistically. Chelsea were really good this season against like Tottenham and stuff. We won. So if I'm going to be fair, to be honest, I have to put them in poor as well, because they're not really any better than Chelsea. They're the same in my opinion. They're good against the big teams, but then not very good against the smaller teams and stuff. So here, Manchester City in poor again. Okay, so next up is Newcastle. Been to St James's Park 3 times I think it was. I actually went like once we played them in May, the last game of the season, then we played them like on the first games of the season, the next season, and I think we lost twice. I've been, and we've won once. There I've actually been, and they were really that good at home, to be honest. They're pretty poor in my opinion. Against like Sunderland back in the day, maybe they were a lot better. But against Chelsea, the 3 times I've been there, they were not very good at all. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know much to say about them. Just have to put them in poor, to be honest. I know I've had quite a lot of teams in poor, like I said, but a lot are poor in my opinion, to be honest. Okay, so next up I've got West Ham. West Ham fans are very different to what they used to be at Upton Park, in my opinion. Never actually went to Upton Park, but seen loads of videos on their fans and stuff. Now they have a bigger stadium and stuff. They've got more tourists, obviously, because there's more people who go in the stadium, and the home sports is pretty dreadful in my opinion. There's nothing special about it at all compared to their away fans and what they used to be like at Upton Park. So yeah, just have to put them in. Awful, to be honest. Nothing really special in my opinion. Okay, so I'll do the same as I did in the away fans video, saying like who's the best in Elite and the worst and awful and all stuff like that, if you get what I mean. Again, yeah, so I'll get into that now. Okay, so in Elite we've got Crystal Palace, Leeds and Aston Villa. I've already actually been to Crystal Palace. That's the only team I've actually been to away out of all them 3. But they're first probably between Aston Villa and Leeds. But I'd probably say a better judgment on it after I actually get to go to both of them, both of their grounds. But just off what videos I've seen, I'm going to say Aston Villa. But it could be Leeds maybe, but I'm going to say Aston Villa. So yeah, but all Elite, 100%. Aston Villa slightly edgy over the other teams in my opinion. Okay, so it's very good. I've only got one club, and that's Wolverhampton Wanderers. So yeah, Wolves very good. Not much to say about them. Just one team very good. That's Wolves. Okay, so in average we've got Burnley, West Brom, and Sheffield United. Like I said earlier in the video, I've never actually seen much of West Brom fans, but in my opinion, it's between probably Burnley or Sheffield United. I'd probably say Sheffield United are way in front of them, but I've never actually seen much of their fans, so I can't really say. From what I think, I don't really know much about it. I'm going to say Sheffield United are better than Burnley and West Brom. But I could be completely wrong and like what actually like the fans are like. So let me know again in the comments what you think about average, who's got the best fans in average. Right, so in poor we've got a lot of teams. We've got Tottenham, Brighton, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, Liverpool, Southampton, Man City and Newcastle. So the best in poor in my opinion is probably between Man City, Chelsea and Southampton probably. I don't really know much, to be honest. Like I can't really know what to say. They're all poor, but it's very hard to decide on who's actually better in all these. I'm just going to say maybe Man City and Chelsea. I don't want to choose one between them two because I think it's too hard to choose. But that's what I'm going to say in poor. All really hard to choose from, to be honest, but probably Chelsea and Man City. Okay, so in all far we've got 4 teams: Fulham, Everton, Man U and West Ham. Okay, so in my opinion the best fans here probably between, I personally think West Ham, but I've seen like people say that Everton fans are good, so maybe people think Everton fans aren't awful at all. But in my opinion, from what I've seen in person, I'm going to say West Ham. I've been to the London Stadium twice, and I've been to Goodison twice as well. Yeah, realistically, Everton been beating Chelsea twice. West Ham we drew once and lost once. So yeah, personally, West Ham probably better than Everton and all the others in awful in my opinion. Right, so that's 20 Premier League teams ranked from elite to awful based on their home support. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, and if you could like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, and thank you for all the support recently. Also, if you could follow my socials, which will be popping up on screen, and linked in the description. That'd be much appreciated as well. And yeah, thank you for watching anyway.